everybody, what's up? It's your pal Steve Zaragoza here, and I just wanted to give you a quick disclaimer before this episode of the Valleycast. So this workflow really sucks, and you know that we've been struggling with dynamic banter and other things in getting this remote podcast thing figured out. And in all of the stresses and hustles and technical this and that's, I accidentally did not record 12 minutes of my audio. And then suddenly I started recording 12 minutes into the podcast. So there's a 12-minute chunk that Ryan will cleverly do something with. And I was also capturing our Discord party, which is how Elliot and Joe and I were all able to see each other. And I was doing a screen recording using QuickTime, and the file ended up being like something like 15 gigs or something. And I was having some hard drive space issues the other day, and I deleted the file thinking I gave it to Ryan already. And then Ryan texted me last night and was like, "Hey dude, where's that Valleycast video?" And I'm like, oh fuck. And so I also deleted the video of all of us talking to each other like you see me now. So I super fucked up. I'm really sorry. It's not that big of a deal. We'll figure it out. There's a lot of hiccups in this new workflow, and we're just figuring it out. And I was a little too hard on myself and I felt bad about it, but now I don't, because it's a mistake and everything will be fine. And then we'll get back to the Valleycast. So anyway, please enjoy this first episode of the Valleycast featuring the three of us in quarantine over Discord. And enjoy how Ryan does this.
Well, anyways, guys, welcome to the very first remote Valleycast.
Hello.
Hi.
I've got my coffee in my Montana Coffee Traders coffee mug. I am broadcasting live from my apartment.
Yeah, let's go through the location. So you're in your apartment right now,
Mm-hmm.
Joe. What? Describe your background a little bit, please.
I got a Glacier National Park set up.
Where are you from? What do you do?
I'm from this apartment. I hail from here. I've got Glacier National Park stuff in frames. I framed these things like semi-professionally.
Cool.
One of the first times I ever did that. And then behind me, you guys see, I always get so confused pointing. Behind me, that little picture up on the wall there, up high.
Yeah.
That is a rendering of my family from one very incredibly talented Casey Landerkin.
Oh wow, Casey Landerkin is great.
Well,
Yes, it is.
I think I saw that on Twitter.
I think I might have tweeted it. Yeah, I commissioned her to do that. My thing is I like commissioning artists to do like family portraits for us. One, to pay them. Two, narcissism. And three, I think it's cooler than just like photographs of your family
Wasn't that a
that you
Christmas
throw
present?
up on the wall.
Was it a Christmas present?
This one? It was a present. I forget what it was for. Elliot's dying.
I
Elliot's
just
got
did
it.
a whole marijuana thing and got no attention.
Ha 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 ha.
Are you guys...
Oh, you took a hit. I didn't
Yeah.
even see it.
I did full on like, oh, really? Cool. And
Didn't see it.
felt like a dick doing it, and then felt like a legitimate dick when y'all were just like, wow, cool, so you did that.
I think that's it for my background. That little white piece of paper right there is the Anglist fish, now available at dftba.com under the Valleyfolk.
I'm sure I said something really funny here because Elliot and Joe both laugh in a second.
But that's for later. That's for later. Anyway.
Ha 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 ha.
I just like to keep it very centralized in my house,
Yeah.
just in case somebody needs to find it.
Yeah.
You don't want there to be any mistake.
It's like when people write motivational things on their like sticky notes to put on their mirror, and it's like, be weird today. Joe's just says like, this is it. Goodbye.
It just says, "Is this the day?"
Yeah. Tell them it's not their fault.
Yeah. With an Anglist fish drawn under it.
I'm really trying to make your level sound good on my end and I'm having difficulty.
I mean, whatever.
Anyway, Elliot, what's in your background?
Thank you so much, Steve. This is actually an original. Yeah, it's a Copeland.
So cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
The depth.
Yeah, and then this, because I'm a serial killer, is the flesh of some of my victims that's been used as wallpaper. Yeah, it's a door, and this is a wall.
Elliot,
So-
I've actually been wondering, and I'm hoping maybe you could answer this for me. How many victims does it take to wallpaper a standard 10 by 12 foot wall?
Well, it takes about a 10 to 12 foot.
Yeah,
You're
10
look-
foot high, 12 feet long.
You're looking at about 5 full-grown adults, but about 12. Let's just say this is 12, but I won't go into the size of.
Oh,
It's 12.
okay.
It's 12 kids. It's 12 children. But
Okay,
if you were
okay.
doing an adult, the skin is more elastic, and if you do senior citizens, one can stretch you pretty much. You could have a whole new foyer.
Did you know that all parachutes are made from the elderly?
Yeah, it's a little known fact. See, this is just like as good as if we're in person.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. Yeah, we wouldn't have done this whole weird bit about Elliot's background.
Yeah.
If you're listening to the audio version and want to see the video version too, there is also a video version too as well also.
And where can they see it, Steve? If I'm curious, because I haven't seen this video and I would love to see it. Where do I go?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Elliot. You go to youtube.com/the Valleycast.
Oh,
Or is it youtube.com/the Valleyfolk?
the Valleycast.
Question mark?
The Valleycast.
Good, because not only will you see the video version that doesn't exist of this podcast, but you will also get to see other podcasts as well.
Like what, Steve? That's such a tease.
Well, Elliot, I'm glad you asked and thank you for asking.
Let me write it down.
Yeah, write it down, like the It Feels Like the First Time podcast,
First time.
which we actually might have changed the name to the First Time Show.
Cool.
What else, Steve?
Yeah, we're bringing First Time Show back. It's me, Alana, Chris McCleb and Brett Register, and some very special guests, like Joe Brady and Elliot Morgan.
Yes.
I don't know who any of those people are.
And essentially we're watching the television show called The Leftovers.
Oh, yeah. I would love to be involved in this because I have not seen that show. And please let me be
You
a
just
part.
reeled him in. He's
Yeah.
in. You got him.
I really want to see it.
All 3 seasons.
We'll be doing all 3 seasons, but we'll definitely take a break in between.
Another podcast that's going to be on youtube.com/The Valleycast is The Fundamentalists moving forward, which I'm very excited about. Pete and I are going to be doing it. That will mean it will no longer be on my channel, youtube.com/Elliot Morgan, because Grace and I also have a new podcast called Pile It On, and that's going to be there. Fundamentalists here, Valleycast here, your show, youtube.com/Valleyfolk. Bring the funny, vote Valleyfolk.
Yeah, that's a great spattering of content, everybody. We got some entertainment.
Dude,
We
you
got
should
the-
have Pete and me on for one of the leftovers because he's big into that.
Oh, that's a great idea. Do you know if he's watched Leftovers?
I don't know, but he'd watch a fair amount of it. He would watch whatever he'd watch. But
I hope he watches it because I'd love to get his perspective on that show.
it's
Dude.
is it Damon Lindelof?
Yes.
And what else did he do? I know Lost, obviously, but then
Watchmen.
that's what it was. Yeah, Watchmen. Yeah. Duh. Okay, cool.
It's incredible. It truly goes in a direction that I've never seen another show go, and they also make use of the television convention that is so cool and so unique and incredible. That 3rd season is really amazing.
Wow. Now I'm officially hyped. Good job, sir.
Anyway, Joe,
Yeah.
is there any other housekeeping?
Just to jump on and give a final little kissy poo and make out deeply with my tongue stuff with what you just said. The last 3 weeks we've been doing the Cabin Fever episodes, and everybody did a great job. We had 3 episodes over the last 3 weeks. If you missed any of them, Elliot and Grace sat down for one, Alana and Steve sat down for one, and I sat down with my wife Heather for her first podcast experience ever. And I thought that was a really fun, unique thing that we all did. So good job, guys. So check them out.
This is the first time Heather was on the video.
The
To
only
put it bluntly,
housekeeping-
it's the first Valleycast I've been super excited to listen to in a very long time. I was like, I get to know Heather?
We know Heather.
We know her, but you don't I've never sat down and had an hour-long conversation with really anybody but you guys. So,
Ha ha, you don't even talk to Grace that much.
we just stare at each other. So, yeah.
I'm interested in knowing what your guys' reaction is, of course, but the only housekeeping of it is again, just to reiterate, it's her first time being front and center. And we weren't joking when we said it literally took her 4 hours to get ready. I thought we were about to press record, and then she just kept getting nervous and kept finding things to do, whether it was her hair or makeup or clean 20
Stalling
things
a
up
little.
before.
Yeah.
She stalled
Hey,
forever.
so can I stop you guys for a second? Because this is going to be really interesting, because I just realized that I just started recording on my end. But I've been recording video. So we might have just switched formats a second ago, and now we're all back to normal and everything's okay.
You sure?
Yes.
Should we put like a disclaimer at the beginning of the episode? Or
No,
we'll
because
decide
you've
that
been
later?
recording yours, right,
Yes.
Elliot?
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep.
Joe's been recording his, and I've been recording my screen, which is also recording my audio through the Mac microphone.
Oh,
So so my voice might just sound like a little like shit until now.
That's very funny,
Great.
Steve.
Yes,
we go.
welcome.
Anyways, watch the last Valleycast with my wife, where we talk about how we named our kids. We answered questions from the patrons and stuff like that. It's a little bit of a get to know you. And,
That's
and
cool.
She did
What, am I
great.
gonna waste some precious tissues crying on this,
Yeah.
or what?
I know
Absolutely
it goes up public tomorrow, but has she been checking out the response, and how does she feel about the reaction?
She's very interested in checking out the response. She doesn't know quite how to. She's pretty computer
Yeah.
illiterate, and but everybody's been very sweet. It's a very kind response. She's going to be.
Was she like
very
nervous
happy.
about it?
Super.
Was
like,
she?
like she was talking about when she was on your lap for Santa Steve, and she's like, I don't want to do what I did there, because she's like, I clammed up, I was shaking the whole time. I'm like, you don't have to be funny, you just got to be yourself. And maybe that's even more frightening for a lot of people.
Part of
You know what's
real
funny?
quick part of doing this apart is, Joe, I didn't know who you were pointing at. So when you were like, when she sat on your lap, and I like was racking my brain and was like, oh my god, what did I? What happened?
You were like, that story finally came
Yeah, I
out.
was like, who talked?
I don't have to hide anymore. The funny thing about the Santa Steve thing, really quick, is I won't say who, but I found out that it has been more than one person who has come to sit on Santa Steve's lap who was absolutely terrified and got bad anxiety about it before doing
Well,
it.
have you seen the Santa
And-
Steve videos? I mean,
Yeah, but like, here's the thing about that. Like, you guys are all my friends, and the funniest people that I love to play with are my friends, and you know, I'm not gonna like bite you or anything. It's just gonna be me like joking around for a little bit, and it might be weird.
I did something bad before this, and it's making you so intense.
What up? We've had some fun times in the car before we came in.
What I'm trying to say is if I was a giant doorknob, I wouldn't mind getting 30% of you all over me.
What?
And uncomfortable, but it will be funny, and it will always be to make whoever's on my lap laugh more than anything.
I don't
you know,
think-
and I feel like that should be a comfortable feeling.
I don't think people are afraid of what you're going to say. I think people see these videos and they know they're funny, and they don't want to be the person that ruins it. So they go in thinking, I have to be funny too, because my dad was thinking the same thing. And I was trying to
yeah,
coach
yeah,
him.
yeah.
I was like, no. Steve is the one that will be the funny one. You just smile and laugh, and everything's going to be fine.
we've had that.
Yeah, okay.
It's similar to when we did the live shows, and we during the Q&A would be like, you don't have to try to be funny or try to be bitty.
Yeah,
just be
yeah.
yourself.
I think
Like,
we
if
had to
would
say that.
Bring people on stage, it would always just be like, just try to be yourself as much as possible, because everyone thinks they got to match the temperature.
Well, we do that whole thing where we're like, we're basically just opening up the world to what our friendships are like, and we're like including everyone in that, and so it creates this camaraderie with an audience that we don't really know personally, but it really does. It's really interesting stuff, because it's really kind of about how, just, I don't know. It's just a weird whole thing. I don't know. My brain's all
Do you
confused
feel bad
now,
that people
but
feel anxious about it? I mean, I wouldn't feel bad.
I guess what I've learned, and it's so weird that it took this long to learn it, but what Joe is saying, like, I guess I really didn't think about how, because my whole thing is like, I never want to tell someone to work with me on camera and not be funny, you know? Like, I don't want to say that to someone because it makes me feel like it's like, let me be the funny
Spotlight
one
on
and let
me.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to do that. And I don't want, and like thinking about how maybe that's part of the reason why Santa Steve works so well is because I'm allowed to just play and everyone has to just kind of sit back and let it happen. But I guess I've never really thought about that to a really deep degree. And I guess in learning that kind of thing, I guess it seems like the next time we do it, if we are able to do it, you know, maybe we just need to prep everybody and say, like, don't worry about being funny. Like, definitely do bits and shit. And, like, definitely if I'm, like, leading you into a bit, we should do that bit if you feel comfortable doing it. But for the most part, just, yeah, be yourself. Like, don't try to do
It's
anything.
also,
and I guess
no one's gonna be funny. When I'm trying to be funny, it's the least funny thing in the world.
Yep.
So like,
I know it's hard to try to be funny.
Yeah, when you're telling someone like, don't try to be funny, then you're basically going like, if you want to be funny, for sure, don't attempt to be that way because it won't work. So it's like because then they're thinking, oh, I got it. Yeah. I wouldn't worry. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Who cares? I would get anxious. People should get anxious because it's not only sitting on your lap, it's also in a room filled with people that
I know, and everyone's
staring.
watching you and shit. Yeah, that's true.
And you have
And
no
you might
lines
say
and-
something racist.
Yeah.
Or sexist.
or be laughing while Steve does.
Yeah, and something physical might happen, and you know, you might not be ready for that. And also, it's kind of a vulnerable thing to just like go sit on an adult man's lap, especially for, you know, it's just that whole thing of like sitting on Santa's lap is such a weird, I mean, I get it. It's like a cute photo for your family and shit, but it's like the idea of putting your kid on this performer fucking SAG-AFTRA 75-year-old man's lap. It's just a weird thing anyway. And then you translate that to adults, and it's like, then it gets even weirder.
Dude.
So I can understand that part being kind of uncomfortable
Mall
too.
Santa
There's
is
just a
like-
lot of elements.
Mall Santa's now like, you know, entrenched in tradition, and we've seen it on TV growing up, and it's like it's expected now. So that cuteness, like you said, is a thing it's almost like a staple in family Christmas upbringing. However, what is freaking creepy and weird is when people do it with the Easter Bunny at the mall. Ain't no tradition.
Yeah.
We're sitting on a big ass creepy fucking rabbit's lap.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, why do they do
Why do you
that?
need that?
It's so
it's
weird.
It's kind of like when you see those like creepy photos from like the 1800s of like these Halloween kids, and you're like, why do they fucking wear that shit? That fucking scary nightmare ghost shit. And it's like people are gonna look at that with Easter Bunny photos and be
Dude.
like, why the fuck were people with Easter bunnies?
The rabbit doesn't talk when you sit on its lap. It's just kind of like, And then
No,
what do
you don't
say?
even ask it anything.
What do
It's
you
not
say?
about like, what do you want for
Hey.
Christmas and shit.
Will you
Also,
will
when
you
you-
drop off eggs at my place on Sunday, please?
Hey, I love when you hid those eggs. Anyway, see ya, buddy.
It's also, when you think of the Easter Bunny, there's no image in your head. Like, Coca-Cola made Santa Claus, so you know
Right,
Santa Claus.
right.
But the Easter Bunny can be just a bunny, and it's a...
The Easter Bunny could be anything from an or like a fucking like Latin geology book or like, you know, biology book diagram of a fucking rabbit, all the way to
Latin
a fucking-
geology?
It's not biology. Sorry, I meant biology, like a biology book or
Latin
like, you know,
geology
whatever.
book where you got that rabbit. That's just standard Latin geological
And then all
rabbit.
the way, but all the way to like the furry fucking mall bunny. It's like there isn't just an Easter bunny that we all agree
Yeah.
is the Easter bunny.
And when it walks, it's
just-
clearly not a bunny. Like when Santa
No,
walks,
no.
there's nothing about him walking that proves that he's not Santa. But when you see an Easter bunny walking, that's just a guy in a rabbit suit. Yeah, Joe, that's a
Right,
great
right.
point. Easter bunny, children getting Easter bunny photos is probably one of the stupidest things. And maybe
It's
Yes.
so
so
weird.
So
And we've done it. But it's weirded me out every single time.
there's no
last
Easter
point,
bunnies right now. This is the first year we took care of the Easter bunnies.
so do you
'Cause of
think
the
that?
quarantine.
I mean, people will want to return to the status quo as soon as we can, but wouldn't it be great if we as a society just decided we should just leave things out now? Like now that we've been through we'll probably go through the rest of this year in some form of quarantine.
You think the whole year? I'm gonna clip that. I don't know. It's gonna be the whole year.
Okay, because I mean, you're right. They do say they're very close to like some vaccine or whatever, but then people who have had it might be okay, and the chances of them getting it again are really low. So maybe you're right, but I mean, fuck, I forgot the point I was trying to make. People will want the status quo to go back, but I'm thinking if we go through these holidays that we didn't get to really celebrate and we realize we didn't really miss them, can we just like erase them? Can we just like as a society decide to erase some things?
Absolutely not. And how dare you? I ask you truly, how dare you?
People got burnt at the stake for saying those types of things.
Yeah, and they made holidays to celebrate it.
I think we should get rid of the Easter Bunny. If people want to celebrate it as a religious holiday, go for it. But let's get rid of the Easter Bunny. We don't need him anymore.
So you're wanting to cut out the secular people of the holiday?
Is it just secular? Well, I thought there was a religious connection to the fucking Easter Bunny. Isn't there?
It's all woven in together now.
That's what I'm saying. You can't. That's what I'm saying. It's so confusing and it's so like it's such a weird thing. We just get rid of it. Like celebrate the religious aspect of it. Go for it. The rabbit, like let's get rid of the rabbit. We already got all these cool.
This is 2 years ago. Joe did a I Hate Easter podcast. It was like episode 8.
Almost
and
to
he
the
got
day.
so much hate for it.
Listen, do what you want with the eggs and shit, but we've got so many cool rabbits. We've got Roger Rabbit, we got Peter Rabbit, we got the Velveteen Rabbit. There's all these cool rabbits. Bugs Bunny. Like, fuck the Easter Bunny.
Dude, that's so funny. Like, if one of those corporations would have just done the Coke Santa thing, like, the overall ubiquitous Easter Bunny could have been Bugs. It could have been.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, you think there's an alternate timeline where Trump isn't president and Bugs Bunny is the Easter Bunny?
No,
I mean, there has to be if we're talking timelines.
There is an alternate universe where every Easter people hide carrots in their backyard, and there is a Bugs Bunny that's unrelated that just eats eggs.
Okay, Steve, we keep the secular bunny, but we mix it more in with the religious aspect, and it has to be that Easter Bunny from that horror movie Holidays. You guys know what I'm talking about?
No,
put up a screenshot if you would, Ryan.
You gotta see it, Elliot. If it's something that'll mess with your your religious backstory, it's the images in this thing. It's weird, but it's good.
Yeah, man. Did you see that thing? We talked about it a little bit when we're doing our Zoom meetings, which, by the way, as a housekeeping, just so you guys know, we are continuing to work every day in very strange ways.
Yes, we are.
And it's all very good. And thank you to our patrons who are sticking with us during this right now. And we appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Fucking A. Shout out.
But I forget where I was going with that. It was
something about scary thing.
The Copeland, the pastor, the mega pastor that I posted for a second.
Oh yeah, dude, that demon.
Did I maybe told you the pastor that I grew up with in like the charismatic movement was the one that got arrested for refusing the social distancing orders. So he like had his mega church come in Tampa. And then he just keeps making headlines for either getting arrested or saying that, people who don't support Trump are going to hell.
I mean, there's
crazy.
that clip going around.
It's so weird because it's so ingrained in my brain. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, there was that clip going around of the woman saying that she was covered in Jesus blood and it was going to protect her. And they were like, what do you guys think about the people that are like gathering still?
Yeah.
Because right now it's all in our minds. We're going to fucking mention the virus, obviously.
Dude, I was outside like an hour ago. I was out on the deck and I heard my neighbor and he's talking to somebody on the phone and he's one of the the flu kills such and such many people every year. This isn't a big deal kind of thing.
Oh, right.
I popped in. I was like, did you know the neighbor's like it's just the flu kind of guy? And she's like, oh, no. But I honestly, I don't know what to make of any of it. Don't do gatherings. It's a very stupid thing. It's a stupid hill to die on.
But how do you feel about, because right now in LA, there was kind of like a declaration from our political officials asking people to, for this week specifically, super flatten the curve and don't even leave for the grocery store or the pharmacy.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of scary to hear from your fucking government.
Yeah.
But but how do you guys feel about that? How's that making you feel?
I mean, I'm used to it now.
But it's getting tighter. It's getting the
But
it's getting tighter.
I think that's okay, and we kind of discussed this earlier. So it's like there's probably two sides of this coin, perhaps, right? One of it is we're looking at the numbers from Italy and then New York, and we're a little bit behind those timelines. Our timeline is doing the same thing, so we're averaging that out, and we're thinking this is the week, right? If we're following science and the numbers, then yeah, that makes sense. And then there's the other side of the coin, Steve, where it's like, well, maybe they're just kind of wanting to squash it a little bit more before it gets bad. And either side of that coin, I'm fine with, as long as, you know, I'm prepared and the people around us are prepared, because we're doing it anyways. So let's like do it.
Yeah, but even though we're doing it anyway, and they're really looking at LA and saying like we're doing okay and like it's working, like us all staying indoors is working, but there still are people fucking gathering up and flying places, and there are obviously the people that don't have the luxury, in some ways luxury, of being able to stay home, the people in the service industries and stuff. But on top of the service industry people, there's still people going out there and gathering in big groups and shit. Like, what's going on?
I think there's like, you know, we could go down like the tiers of type of people, right? And I think like there's extremes on both sides. There's like the agoraphobes that weren't going to go out anyways, and then there's the people that are like, fuck you, you can't tell me what to do with my life. I'm going to go outside anyways and do what I want, right? But in the middle, there's varying levels of people that are kind of skewing towards, I'll do what I want. But all of those people in the middle, as soon as it hits somebody close to them, as soon as it's a story that is closer to their narrative, most of these people are pretty reasonable, and they stay. They once it hits them personally, then they take it seriously.
I 100%
but then
agree.
There's always just going to be these fucking extremes, and a lot of the
and those extremes aren't gonna statistically, it's just not gonna probably touch those people because of the amount of people that are in this country. So it's like they're never gonna be able to extend themselves enough to be like, okay, yeah, this is serious, until, like, yeah, you're saying, Joe, it actually affects them. I was partially the same way. I mean, I've still been like, I don't get very panicky about many things. And there's been a couple like peaks during this whole process where it's been truly scary. But for the most part, I'm relatively like, okay, like my family's okay, like everything's okay. This isn't really affecting me yet. And now with everything that's happened, there's been enough people that are close enough that I'm like, okay, yeah, no, this is like an actually incredibly serious thing. Not that I wasn't taking it seriously and doing everything, but emotionally I just wasn't like, it was like a logical thing where I was like, all right, this is what they're saying to do. I'm going to do this. Not a problem. But when it hit emotionally, and I think those people just need the emotional part to be able to like connect or be like actually change their behavior in some way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For sure. And the worst part, Steve, the worst part is Jesus Blood Lady and people like that, because again, statistically, a lot of those people aren't going to be affected by it. And because they're not, they're going to double down on their bullshit Jesus blood ideology. It's going to support it, and they're going to not look at the science. They're not going to look at the facts. It's amazing how something that's supposed to make you, more connected with your fellow man can shove you even deeper inside yourself, and your own mind and your own heart, and keep you from extending out in a time of just total shit.
Well, let's just hope that when it comes time to vote for people that could help prevent things like this, and really the people that seem more empathetic to people and want to prevent things like this from ever happening again. It's important that when it's time to vote, you kind of like shift your focus towards those people a little bit before you just kind of make your own kind of like gut decision. Because, man, it would be so great if we had some sort of shield for this before it really fucked us up. And we really could have had that, and we really could have had people working on these types of things well before they reach your backyard. And it's so tragic.
We had them, and they were fired unceremoniously prior to it all happening.
To give context, like, we're recording this a week and a day before it'll go live. So hopefully by then, when people are listening to this, the curves have been flattened a little bit.
I would love that. And they do say, for positivity, they are saying that, like, it's working. Like, people quarantining really does seem to be working. So that's always good.
Rounding back to that snake oil salesman of a fucking pastor. Holy crap! Does he not look like the devil midway through transformation of when his devil fucking head busts out of his fake man skin that was supposed to be on Elliot's wall, but he came in and borrowed that skin and threw it on himself? How can somebody look so much like the fucking devil and be a spokesperson for something so religious? The irony of it is so fucking thick that I'm choking on it.
Wow.
There was also a pope that looked like a vampire. Remember that pope that looked like Dracula?
Joe, I didn't know you
Vlad the Third.
Joe, I didn't know you were someone who just judges people by their looks.
Yeah, just that guy. Just that guy.
And I mean, I suspect it. I did suspect it, but to see you do it is different, and it's gross feeling. But
for it to be on the record.
Listen, he might look like he's from another galaxy, and he's looking for the galaxy on Orion's belt, and Will Smith is after him with a pen that shoots red light. But he's a man of God.
He looks
Joe.
like
he's a man.
He
of God.
looks like he looks like a. He looks like a guest star alien on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah, dude.
Wow, that's exactly what he looks like. Yeah.
He looks like an alien that landed on the planet, and went into a farmhouse and borrowed the eyes from some of the people that lived in that farmhouse.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's really freaky, man, all this weird shit going around. But, I'd like to think that maybe there are more people who see that and are like, okay, well, they've got their faith, and if that's what they believe in, that's what they believe in. But once it starts to, like, really affect too many people and hurt a lot of people, that's when shit starts to get gross.
I usually don't care, and it's off my radar most of the fucking time. But there's enough people that buy into him that the motherfucker's a millionaire. Like, hundreds of thousands of times over, which is more than a million.
Like Righteous Gemstones.
He's worth so much fucking money, and it boggles my mind.
We watched a documentary called The Eyes of Tammy Faye last week, which is a very good. Well, it's a weird documentary. It's actually pretty crazy, but it's part of that movement, like the Jim Baker, Tammy Faye Baker, and it's so strange, man. Yeah, it's all so like. It's weird because I remember it being such a normal thing, and now looking back, it's so obvious that it's like they're full of crap. But I remember being like, "Wow, these guys are really passionate about Jesus." My screensaver keeps coming on, but yeah, it's nuts. I don't know. It's so weird to look back on something and be like, "That's such BS," and then to still have the memory of being like, "Oh, these guys are just doing their thing." But even as a kid, it was just still like, something. With these guys.
Yeah, that motherfucker doesn't feel like normal to anybody, even if they buy into it. They're like, he's preaching the words, so I'm giving a thumbs up. But that that guy's the devil.
You know what? Yeah.
If you guys want to see what we're talking about, but in a really funny and fun and scary and awesome way, check out Vic Berger's Jim Baker videos.
I thought you were talking about
the Jim Baker. No, just the Jim Baker stuff.
Yeah.
Like, look up Vic Berger, VIC, and I think it's BERGER or something.
Tammy Faye, what's interesting, that whole story with them is fascinating because Tammy Faye is one of the coolest, craziest human beings that's walked this planet in the past 50 years.
Oh, yeah. And I remember her. I remember when she was doing TV shit.
So loved everybody, supported everybody. Yeah, she's incredible. And then she was this shining light in the world and was also the counterpart to this guy who was, cheating on her and doing all this other stuff, but and now continues to do it with his new partner, and they sell apocalypse kits. You can't really get
Like
a more
fucking-
interesting
wait.
wormhole to dive down.
Are they calling them apoca kits? Because they should be.
Well,
I just love it. They're just these slop buckets of macaroni and cheese and gravy and shit. And then they're like, and then they go, and I'm telling you, zero irony. They're just like, they straight up go, and then when you're done with it, you can use it as a toilet. Like you could literally shit in the bucket. The slop came in to feed your 14. I mean, whatever. Now we're getting into
Pat Robertson
hateful stuff.
came out and said on the 700 Club, which was started by the bakers.
Oh God, I remember the 700 Club.
Still going, and he said that this whole pandemic is caused by people having oral sex. I hope you're enjoying quarantine. Let me tell you about a little something. I'm going to tell you about Stitch Fix, okay? Wouldn't it be great if every clothing store just had your size, what styles you like, and the price you want? I think it would be. Well, guess what? There's a company that's dedicated to all those things, and it's called Stitch Fix. In the world of clothes shopping, there are no consistent sizes. Why should we have to try to guess if Why should we try to guess if a medium is really a medium, or if we're going to have to return something that we purchased online to find something that fits perfectly? Why? I tell you, well, Stitch Fix is a personal styling company that makes getting the clothes you love effortless. It's a completely different way to shop that's all about you every time. So to get started, go to stitchfix.com/valley and set up your profile, and they'll deliver great looks personalized just for you. I use it all the time. Joe uses it. Joe's gotten really good things. That llama thing uses it too. stitchfix.com/valley. You'll get 25% off of everything if you keep it, all the stuff. And you should, because it's going to be really good stuff. All right. We've talked about this a bunch, stitchfix.com/valley. They're wonderful. Truly are. Good stuff. They've turned Joe into an even handsomer person, and I didn't think that was possible. That first ad read was really great. I hope the next one is also related to staying home a lot. For all our sakes, we need to avoid crowds any way we can right now. Hold on. But what if you need to go to the post office? Well, what do I do if I need to go to the post office? What if you need postage to send out letters and packages? Don't worry, Stamps.com is here to help. Oh my God, Stamps.com. Ugh, where you been my whole life, I tell you. Now, how? Well, anything you can do at the post office, you can do at Stamps.com. You can print postage on demand and skip those lines and crowds at the post office. Well, that sounds both convenient and safe. Shh. Plus, you can actually save some money with discounts that you can't even get at the post office. We're talking exclusive. You're part of the coolest club there is now. Stamps.com brings all the services of the U.S. Postal Service right to your computer in the safety and comfort of your own home. Oh, that's where we all are, is it not? We will stay strong together, but separate. Together, but separate. And like I said, with Stamps.com, you get great discounts too. 5 cents off of every first-class stamp and up to 40% off USPS shipping rates, which is a good deal. So anyway, what else? I'll tell you, Stamps.com is a no-brainer, especially now, saving you time and money and keeping you safe in these crazy times, is what it says. Right now, all of the listeners of the Valleycast get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale, which is pretty cool, without any long-term commitment. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in Valleycast. Microphone at the top, Valleycast. It helps us. It helps you save money. You don't have to leave the house. That's Stamps.com. Enter Valleycast. Stamps.com. Enter Valleycast. Stay safe, my friends. It's the must-read call to action also. Well, stay safe, my friends. It's just strange to read that. We're living in crazy times. Stamps.com.
Yeah. Dude, the crime of it all, on top of all the other crimes of it all, is that motherfucker obviously is such a good communicator, and it could have been used for somewhat good. So I'm going to reach out to him, and I want him to be the spokesperson for our Patreon moving forward.
All we got to do is hit him up on his Cameo, Joe.
I'm trying to think if this is in any way
Can you
a bad
imagine if he
idea,
had a
and I don't think
cameo?
it is. This is a good idea, Joe. I was thinking, though, when you're talking about like how he looks like the devil, that just means if you have that reaction, you can assume other people do, which means if he's got an audience, it's probably the same audience he's had for like 40 years because it was 40 years ago and he probably didn't look as scary. So he's just...
maybe he didn't look as scary.
He probably hasn't gotten any new viewers. It's just he got a lot at one time when he was super charismatic and probably good looking, and then now his audience is slowly dying. What?
It's like when Gollum because Gollum has the ring for like too long, and that's why he becomes
Yes.
like.
Oh
That
my
guy's
God.
that guy's 27 years old. He's had the ring for 4 years.
Yeah. Once he's like 150, then he'll look like a fucking demon full on.
But he's whatever
He'll
the
have, like,
equivalent is, like how Golem was a hobbit. He just used to be a leprechaun, and so he's just a quickly aged leprechaun.
He grew up tall
Yeah.
and then got old and creepy.
Dude, I try to keep my opinions of hate close to the chest because, we just live in the society we live in. But you know what? Fuck that guy in his bullshit hypocritical ass to fucking death. That's how I feel about that guy.
Oh yeah, for sure, agreed. Let's
pray
switch
for you,
gears a
Joe.
little bit because I want to. Fuck you, Elliot. Let's switch gears a little bit. And I really want to talk to you guys about something, but I realized a better way to talk about this would be to turn this into a segment, which is. It's literally an AMA for you and Elliot, for Joe, you and Elliot, and it's an AMA for me. I am obsessed with and have obsessively been playing Animal Crossing, the video game Animal Crossing New Horizons for the Nintendo Switch. Ask me anything.
I don't think Elliot will know what type of question to ask you.
Did you see?
Well, Elliot might not even know what it is or how like if Elliot wants to know anything about Animal Crossing or why I'm so obsessed with it or anything you want to know, instead of me just gushing about how much I love it, you guys just ask me questions and I'll answer them as best as I can.
Okay, and for those who don't know what Animal Crossing is, it is The Sims for newborn babies.
Newborn
Newborn
babies.
babies. It is. Right? What is it?
It's really a hit in the newborn baby.
Yeah.
The newborn baby demo. Do you not know what it is, Elliot?
Not really. I mean, I'm assuming it's some sort of a RPG like World of Warcraft, but really cute.
No, I think you nailed it, Elliot. It's pretty much The Sims, right?
Yeah,
It's-
like
well-
you're kind of you create yourself or different people, like Minecrafty.
But The Sims was like you could die and you have to like you could lose your job and like bad shit could happen.
What Steve is saying is that there are no stakes in Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
Zero.
Animal Crossing is like if a Japanese development company made The Sims and then they were like, but let's make it as cute as we could possibly make it, and then nothing bad could happen.
Cool.
And that's what it is.
Okay, so I got a question for you then. Just to
Okay.
even make this sure. Steve, what is your pitch, like your 2-sentence pitch for why you love Animal Crossing?
It's
By
just.
the way, thank you for doing this AMA.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good.
You're
I
welcome.
need you to
And
hold up
I
the
have
piece
to
of
go
paper.
soon, but I'll tell you. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
this is the
prove
date. This is me. It's just the world is really sad right now, and it's bleak, and you can tell by how we went on about how bleak it is that it's really affecting everybody, and it's really fucked up. And Animal Crossing is like somehow taking all that away for a little bit. And while it takes it away, it's being incredibly soothing and gentle and kind and fun.
That's like 9 sentences.
Is it like the question, if I may?
Yes,
First
please.
of all,
Yes.
thank you for doing this AMA. I've always been
You're
very
welcome.
curious about just what goes through your brain as a player of Animal Crossing. Would you liken it to Tiger King in terms of ability to escape from reality?
Yes. 100%. Except Tiger King, it's interesting because like Tiger King is incredible and I loved it. I loved every minute of it and I took it for what it was as a piece of entertainment. But there's like a lot of people talking about it in a way that's like, I hated it because it's showing us there's like a bunch of different camps of people that that either will never see it, don't want to see it, and don't like it and want nothing to do with it. And it's all because either it depicts the people that are part of the problem as why we're in this mess in the first place, and it like shows you all of those people and it gives you an in-depth look into those people's lives. And then there's also the people that are like, too much abuse to animals, I would never watch that. And then there's the people that are like, I don't think this is funny. I don't get it. I don't understand.
And then there's the people that are like, I fucking love animal abuse.
Heather.
Yeah. Monster.
But yeah, I would say it's escapism like Tiger King, except it's fully wholesome.
Steve, I got again. Thank you so much for doing this and taking time out.
Yeah,
of your
you're
day.
welcome. You're welcome.
And thank your interns too for typing up your answers.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna check the Valleyfolk subreddit while I'm also reading the question that Joe's typing.
Perfect. Thank you. Maybe there's some cross posting you can do.
Yeah, maybe you could pull up some questions.
Steve, what is your favorite thing about the game? Get very specific. And, sorry, two-parter. What is the worst part of the game?
Oh, that's very easy. The best part about the game is it seems like there will be endless things to do. Like, there will always be new things that you can build and add to your town or gift to your friends or give to someone in your town. And there's always, like, a new fish to catch that's in season during this particular month, or, like, a bug you can only catch on April 13th or something. There's always going to be these, like, little things that you can look forward to in the game. And that's so fucking cool because I love it so much I don't want it to end, and it truly doesn't really have an end. There are ways to beat the game that people kind of rush towards.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically like an adorable life simulator.
Yeah, you're paying off your like rent and you're paying off your mortgage and like
wow, escapism 100% there.
Yeah.
Right, but you're doing it with like turnips and shit. Like and you know, they come around on Sunday and like I don't know, whatever. It's really easy stuff, nothing stressful or hard. But the thing that I don't like about it is the multiplayer aspect of it. It's really fun and cool, and people come to your island, and my friends Jesse and like all my friends and I have been going to each other's islands and just like having a great time and showing each other all the fun shit we've been doing and set up and all the new things we have. And like the other day, my clothing shop had like a Daft Punk robot helmet that you could buy and wear on your character.
That's cool.
And I sent a screenshot of that to Jesse, and I'm like, look what's in my shop! And he's like, open your gates, I'm coming! And he like flew to my island, went to the shop, bought like a bunch of the stuff that was only in my shop, and then like went, all right, man, I love you, I'll see you later. And then he left my island, and then he like, you know, could gift one of those to Whitney or another friend or whatever.
Steve, if I may jump in here, also thank you for doing
Sure.
this AMA.
Of course.
That reminds me of the other night when it was like 10 p.m. and I was a little high and I was playing Scrabble by myself on the PlayStation 4. And then a banner popped up that was Claudio, Sarah Whittle's husband, inviting me to play Scrabble with him.
Whoa,
And
that's
then
cool.
Me and Grace looked at each other in silence and then looked back at the screen, and I kept playing my own game for a little while. And then eventually I played with Claudio, and same idea. He just flew into my land.
Right. Isn't that cool?
I'm a
and
gamer.
it's like, it's something. Listen, we're all social people, and we like to see our friends and have social gatherings and stuff. And while we can't, like, you know, Elliot's playing Scrabble with his friends, and I'm playing Animal Crossing with my friends. And it's like, it's a really cool thing that these kind of little distractions provide.
Yeah.
And with Animal Crossing, it's really, really fun and cute and cool. But the thing that sucks about it is every time someone comes to your island, there's like a fucking cutscene that lasts for like 10 seconds, and everyone has to watch it on their own ends. And then finally someone comes in, and then like another person comes in, and then you watch it again for another 10 seconds. And it's just like this really disruptive, kind of annoying aspect of the game, but it's literally the only thing I don't like about it.
And the fact that like people leave shits on your island.
I like the shits.
Did you?
I collect them.
Did you guys see the? I think we were all tagged in it, but they made somebody made the Valleyfolk logo.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Really
You
cool.
can make all these really cool designs and stuff, and like, there's all sorts of really cool shit you could do. Like, people have made like Harry Potter, Gryffindor house like robes and shit, and like, you can get a magic wand in the game that does magic and shit. Like, there's just all this really cool shit you can do.
The best version of any open world game or any game in general is that if you had programmed in ways for the community to use it, to influence it, and be creative within it, it'll last so much longer, like exponentially longer. Like, the fact that people are being able to Minecraft kind of certain things within the game is amazing. Like,
oh, dude,
it's great.
You don't even know, man. On the subreddit, someone created like a crazy like MXC like obstacle course type thing that like if you fly to his island, you can like participate in it, and you get locked in this giant thing, and you have to like keep moving or you'll like fall into these little pits or something. And then he set up like a roulette wheel for prizes, and like he made like basically like a game show island for him and his friends to like play, and he like gifts them like cool prizes and shit. And it's like, my brain would never think of that. But the fact that that guy made that and kind of showed you how he did it, now anybody can do it, and now I can have like a fucking game show island, and all my friends could come, and I could like give them gifts and shit. It's just like, I don't know, it's innocent escapism in its purest, funnest form, I think.
That was great. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right,
but anyway, I have been streaming it a lot on the channel, and I hope you guys have been enjoying it, and it looks like you guys have been enjoying it. And I haven't done it in a bit, but I'll probably do some more soon. But basically, I've been having an affair with someone on the island, and there's like a whole kind of thing going on.
You're giving it a narrative while you're streaming.
Yes, yeah.
Wow, the men in the Valleyfolk are monsters.
Elliot, what? So he's been Animal Crossing. What have you been filling your time with during this whole thing?
A lot of Scrabble. We did pottery. We got pottery wheels. Steve.
Did you bake it? Did you bake your pottery already?
Oh no, we have to let it dry. I don't think it's. But mine got messed up very quickly, but was cool for a second. And I'm gonna give it a go again. It's weirdly, like, not weirdly, it's exactly, predictably, and as you would expect, very mesmerizing and nice to do. We got like the little kid kits. Like,
were you on the wheel? Like, was it spinning?
It's for children. It's for children. I mean, it's plastic. It's like Fisher Price style, but it's cool.
Elliot.
Hi, Steve.
First of all, thank you for doing this AMA.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to say I'm a huge fan of your stuff, and I especially like that one special you did.
Thank you.
But anyway, when you're doing the pottery,
I get that that's supposed to be a roast, but I think we're all in agreement on that.
Yeah, okay. No, that's fine. So when you're doing the pottery
I want to say it
wheel
again.
thing, I'm not
say it again. No, go ahead.
Well, I'm not a
Let me say
comedian.
about
I'm just trying.
I'm just a guy here asking a comedian
I'm just a guy
question.
here trying to. I literally only liked one of your specials, and I'm just a fan.
Right, which I
so
agree,
I'm not going to be able to do a whole bit with you about it. So
well, thank you
basically,
for asking
my
this question.
You're welcome. My question
I
is,
was
and
gonna-
thank you for doing the AMA. And my question is when you're using the spinning clay thing, do you feel even a little bit like Patrick Swayze from Ghost?
I've never seen it. So.
All right.
But Holy Shit is available on Amazon Prime for free. Yeah, I don't think I remember ever really knowing what that movie was. I know the scene.
Yeah.
You should see it. It's really good.
Yeah.
Joe, do you like Ghost?
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I've got things in my brain that won't go away.
I'll never
It's
watch
so good. It's so good.
It's 80s. The ending is like so classic and so referable that you should watch it just for that. That and the pottery scene for sure.
Watch it with Grace. It's a romantic movie.
I never
It's like
ever
yeah.
will. I believe it's good. Maybe.
Well, listen, I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you.
I listen to your movie recommendations all the time, and I 100% respect them. It's not enough to motivate me to actively watch a movie, but it is enough to dictate a lot of how I feel about a lot of movies.
Okay, all right.
Like, I match up as I'm watching. Like, when I watched Onward, I was like, wow, Steve was totally right, and Joe has never been more wrong in his life about this movie.
But isn't it interesting how we're really in the minority there, Elliot? Like,
Are we?
people love that.
People
movie.
love
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, look at the comments on the video we posted with the clip of you and Grace talking about
I mean,
it.
I guess people, yeah. I mean, if you love it, I guess you're loving something that's fine. A lot of people love things that are fine.
Yeah. I've come to accept that a lot of people love things that are fine, and I'm one of those people because I totally enjoyed The Rise of Skywalker, the final Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, I
That's
guess
one of the movies that I rewatched.
It'd be just as weird if I just hated fine. When you hate
Right.
like the Star Wars people or the Onward people, as I probably am more of. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
You
bored
just
to death or what's going
you
on?
just didn't you just didn't
in
enjoy
life?
it.
No, I didn't enjoy it. What like? How are you guys? What's your mental state like compared to when this all started?
I am surprisingly functioning, and surprisingly not as dark as I thought I might be.
Good.
My days are just, I mean, they fly by. The weeks do not fly by. Like the 7 days in a week it feels like a year or two, but the days within it, which is a weird time fuck, feel like I wake up and it's 9 p.m. in the snap of a finger.
Yep.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah, agreed.
But I'm filling
same.
them up. I make 2 to 3 meals a day for the family. I'm getting the kids doing their schooling. I try to give them exercise. I'm trying to do as much Valleyfolk work as I can, keep the house clean. So there's like little tasks that fill up every moment. And I'm video gaming and trying to be healthy in like giving myself those little moments. But there's not a moment where I'm not feeling like I have to be doing something. Like otherwise I feel a little bit guilty.
Same here.
That I'm not getting stuff done.
Great. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Good.
Yes. So there's this constant feeling of like, I don't feel accomplished doing all those things. I feel like I'm failing at 40 different things at once.
100%.
Right.
No matter how much I get done in a day, I'm still like feeling bad about who I am and what I've done as a person.
Yes. I'm definitely feeling that. And like part of it is like, I still don't feel like I do truly believe, I'm trying to live by the mantra that what we're doing, creating comedy and content and making sure it's getting out during this is helping.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to reach out more on social media and do live streams and stuff like that because I'm like, I feel worthless, and in feeling worthless, I got to try to do something for somebody while doing this. And that's kind of like my placeholder. But I'm still like, I need to do more, and I haven't figured out what that more
And the worst part about it is like it feels like there's nothing you can do about it. Like there's nothing that will satisfy that feeling. Like nothing will make that feeling go away. It's just like you got to just I feel like I'm reaching the levels of acceptance of feeling that way during this entire thing. And what the hell is that? Is that a paper?
Is that Elliot? I think it's Elliot. What is that?
Oh, his microphone,
There it
his
Yeah, my
headset got
headphones
unplugged.
fell off.
Oh,
that's
weird.
weird.
Why did it sound like we were like in your ear for a second there? But
What were we talking about?
well, I was just talking about how it just feels like it's never gonna end. That feeling of like being useless and nothing's working is like it feels like it's never gonna end. So I've like I'm reaching levels of like acceptance of that feeling, and definitely having medication helps a lot. But I'm certainly in a place where I feel exactly the same way you guys do, but I feel like I'm in a place where it's like, all right, well, now I'm in adapting mode.
Yeah.
Now it's time to adapt. Like, how do we adapt to this, and what will make me feel accomplished, and what will work for me?
Agreed. What I'm battling is, so it's like I'm accepting the entertainment side of me, and you guys know, like I always think there's a little bit of like, I don't know, it always feels like inauthentic or bullshitty to really lean into that sometimes. But I'm like, okay, this is what I am. This is what I do. It's what I've done for like the last 15 years. Let's not fight it. So I'm starting to accept that, but I can't accept that I wish I was doing more, because I see things like our boy Aaron Massey, who's designing a frickin' like 3D printed face shield for nurses that he can send the plans to and people can use it, and like Destin from Smarter Every Day going out and doing the same thing but on a bigger scale. Like I feel these moments of feeling incapable because I can't do that stuff.
But you're
Or
also
maybe I
we're
can.
you're comparing.
We're
yourself,
manufacturing
so-
laughs.
Yeah, like you can't compare. You're not Aaron, so you can't compare yourself to Aaron or what they're doing, because you're just gonna feel bad about.
Right.
But I certainly
yourself.
see.
But they're
I agree-
inspiring at the same time.
Inspiring is good. Yeah.
Right.
I found.
I think we totally need to accept that we're doing that on a level for laughter. Like we're providing the care, I mean,
Yeah.
it's such a laughter is a great medicine.
It does-
And you do, Joe, provide that, and Elliot provides that, and I provide that.
I've found in this experience that I actually feel somewhat more connected to people, because I've just tried to make a point like once, 2 or 3 times a week, I'll call someone who I haven't talked to in a while and just like chat with them for like I talked to my best friend from high school for like an hour and a half or 2 hours or something last week, and it just like filled me up, and I was like, okay, this is like such a better, and it's not like doing work, like I'm not accomplishing anything, but I think our brains are still missing some kind of like communication with people that makes us feel accomplished at the end of the day. Because if I don't do that and I just do a bunch of like chores or do a bunch of work or writing or something, then I still am just like cagey and crazy the entire time.
Mm-hmm. That's like a silver lining thing that I've experienced as well. I've talked to a number of friends a lot more that I haven't in a long time, and made some reconnections, which has been nice, especially people from, like you said, Elliot, like high schools past.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a lot of that on Facebook too. I don't use Facebook. It's very rare, but now I've started to just like reach out and see how people are doing, because
family members and stuff. I've had like aunts in Florida reach out and be like, how you doing with this stuff? And it's like the sweetest thing to be like, oh yeah, people are like, it's weird to have the thought to be like, I'm going to check in on that person and actually have no excuse but to do it. And I'm very easily a person who becomes the person who other people check in with. And now it's been a very nice experience to be like, oh no, I'm going to actually be like, hey, how are you? And people are all just like very sweet right now. There's a very atmosphere of like niceness and respect that at least I'm experiencing in a small way when I go out to get groceries and stuff. Like there's just a courtesy that's happening that I hope
a lot of pleases and a lot of thank yous and a lot of like knowing knowing nods, just
totally.
We're all dealing with it together, and it's the first time you've really felt that from your community, which is a really strange
especially in
feeling.
LA, where everyone is so self-involved, and now everyone's just like, oh, please, after you. It's like, whoa, oh my God.
Well, and there's that idea of like the suburban neighborhood where everybody knows you and you know your neighbors and shit. And it's like, I don't know all my fucking neighbors in this building I live in, but we're all dealing with this shit. So if I ever did see them, I would feel a connection to them that you don't normally feel when you're in a community like this.
Yep.
Well, listen, I think we're hitting the hour mark here, so we can choose to wrap it up and hopefully leave people with a little positivity. How about that, guys?
Like that.
How about each one of us says something positive to kind of end the day and end the podcast on a higher note, so that we, even if it's like a joke or something, or even if we want to just laugh about something, or if something made you laugh and you want to share that. Because I think it's important that, like, we are all in this together, and it's really easy to fall into that pit of like, fuck, it's getting worse, and what are we going to do? And certainly we have, and certainly I have, and even in this episode. But it's important to not lose sight of the positive things, because we really need that. I remember years ago I tried to start the positivity team to kind of like use as a hashtag to kind of like rally positivity together. And I think we need it now more than ever. So, in small ways we can help by just kind of sharing a positive thing on our way out of the podcast to maybe make you smile a little bit.
Okay, I'll start. Steve, your words have inspired me, and I think within the matter of an hour on a podcast, I'm going to turn a new leaf. And you know what? I love Devil Preacher Guy. He's trying his best. He's going out and just trying to preach his word to the masses.
No, Elliot, stay out of this. Don't say anything, Elliot.
I respect the hustle. The hustle of Devil Preacher Guy is unmatched. It's unparalleled. And that dude is just trying to make a dollar out of $15 million. And I acknowledge my path down sin lane, and I'm gonna back it up a bit. And Devil Preacher Guy, you got my support. Hashtag positivist Steve.
The devilpreacherguy.com/the Valleycast for 10% off your own slop bucket, your Judgment Day slop bucket.
Judgment bidet.
All right, I just blew into my mic, which was me blowing rebuking you, Steve, for what you have said in this podcast, specifically about the Easter Bunny. And
Yeah.
I look forward to sitting on as many Easter bunnies as I can next year.
All right, and in the spirit of what I am trying to convey at the end of the show, and what all of you have tried to do, I will take back my pure hatred for the Easter Bunny and settle on the fact that you can have your fucking Easter Bunny, but can we just decide on the goddamn design? Can we decide on what the fucking Easter Bunny looks like and just settle it?
Easter Bunny from here on forth looks like devil preacher guy.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even have ears.
No.
It's just that guy. He's
Yeah.
the Easter Bunny.
A lot of people don't know this, but Pastor Kenneth Copeland is the Easter Bunny.
All right. Well, listen. Thank you guys for listening.
That
Thank you for
motherfucker's sneaking into
subscribing.
your house on the
All right.
hide and shit.
to hide slop buckets.
That's enough blasphemy
Okay,
from
listen.
me. Thank you so much, guys.
All right, listen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing to the Valleycast channel on youtube.com/the Valleycast if you haven't already. And that's always fun, and we appreciate it. Anybody else want to say something?
Love you
No,
guys.
man.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Miss you, boys.
Keep it safe,
Miss
keep
you.
it healthy, and support intellectualism. Thank you.
Yeah, stay home, everybody. Bye-bye.